Good morning, friends. How are you? Welcome to Stampin' All Day with Bev. I will ask you to sprinkle, if you will. I'm pointing the wrong way because I'm backwards on camera. It's so hard for us when we're backwards, but it's right for you. So if you will sprinkle, please, that would be great. Thank you. I told you on Tuesday that I would not go live on Mother's Day because I know you all will be busy. So I wanted to have a pop-up today because there's just so many things that I am creating with these doily dies and the artistically inked stamp set. And today I'm even going to add one more little stamp set that will be an upcoming live when it gets its turn. But I'm telling you, these dies, these doilies, along with the artistically inked stamp set and the artistic dies, are just stunning. So I had used the big die in the artistically dies, but today I'm going to use another one. I'm going to use the big leaf because I want to make sure that you guys get all the ideas that I have swimming in my head. So we're just going to start. Hi, Eva. I'm just going to pop you down. Before I do, though, I'm going to remind you about my rewards form. A few of you have had me email them to you, and a few of you now understand what they are or didn't know about them. So I want to make sure that everybody that watches knows that if they order from me, they should get a rewards form. And if we need to go back in your ordering history for it, there's no worries. If you didn't have one already, we'll catch it up. So I just want to bring this up every single time because I don't know who has one, who doesn't have one. And if you don't understand it, just let me know. I do have a little pop-up on it, but we can talk and I can explain it to you. Okay, so that's the rewards form if you order from me. Now I am going to show you my host code in case you want to order from me this month, and also my email address in case you need to talk with me. Okay? All right, let's get started with this card. I'm going to turn you down. Let me see, get my trimmer in a convenient spot, and then turn you down. Hey, Marcia, how are you? Happy Mother's Day to you guys. Let me turn you around. You're looking at my ceiling right now, and get you going the right direction. There we go. And tighten you up so the camera doesn't spin while I'm working. Okay, so I wanted to introduce to you also another color. This is the Pebble Path in color cardstock. It's is a beautiful color. We ask all the time about masculine cards, don't we? And we always have sympathy cards we need, or feel better, get well cards. And so I thought this one was really good for those two purposes, or just a thinking of you, praying for you type of card. So I'm taking, hi Viola, I'm taking a full sheet of cardstock, and I'm going to cut it down at 4 1/4. So I'm putting the edge of my cardstock with the 8 1/2 at the top. Hey Joan. And I'm putting it at 4 1/4, and I'm going to cut this right down the middle. That's the scoring blade. So we will score like that. Then I like to turn my cardstock and use the little ledge, the little arm here. I like to use that to hold my cardstock still while I bend it in half and get corner to corner even, and press down for my fold. Then I remove the tool and go to my bone folder to burnish. This is just an extra piece, which you will need some scrap for the leaves that I'm going to show on this card, but I already have that cut out. I am going to be using the Pebble Path ink, so color on color. You can already see the masculinity of this card that's going to be with just the color. I am going to again use the smaller rose on the artistically inked stamp set. So this is something I've been working with the past couple of lives. And then the artistic goes this way. Hey, Bev, catching you live. Woohoo! The artistic dies. I have been using this one a lot, and it's been very, very popular. But today I used this one, so I'll leave it out in case there's any questions on that. Okay, and then the other stamp set that I had to get right away, and I want to let you guys know I have it. A lot of people ask me, please tell us what you're getting in advance so we can know what's coming up. So Courage and Faith. I just love this stamp set. I love when we can have encouragement through the Lord through our stamp sets. And so this was one of the first ones I got. And it's by a $1 million sales demonstrator. I don't see her name on here, so I'm not sure exactly which demonstrator designed the set, but I love it. You love it too, Marcia? Yeah, that's really a good one. Okay, and then the hybrid doilies, dies, and folder. Here is the code for that. I'm using the folder today, just the folder on this card. Okay, so let's get started with the stamp. A while back, quite a while back, you've been watching me for a while. If you've been watching me for a while, you remember when I made this cross, right? So when I saw this cross, and I love the image that this rose makes, I thought those have to look good together. They just do. Now this cross is made with a retired wood grain, wood pattern paper, and it is the size of it. They're both planks are 1 inch wide, but one of them is 3.5 inches long, this one here, and the other one is 4.5 inches long. And then I just made a cross out of those two pieces. I did back the backing with cardstock and added some linen thread and dimensional so it will pop off the card when I'm done. But when I made these crosses, they were very popular, and I said, make a few. While you're at it, just make a few and put them next to, somewhere next to your Courage and Faith $1 million sales. Natalie, how did I not remember Natalie? Thank you so much, Bev. Natalie's such an awesome demonstrator. I'm going to go back to the cross, and then I'm going to go back to Natalie for a minute. So I had this one setting like when I ask you guys to do things, I do it too, and they're always so nice to just grab a done cross and then add it to a card. It also has the gold foiling on there, which I showed you to do in that live. So you can go back and look at that if you want to see how I made these crosses, okay? So that cross is going to be on this card along with the leaves from this die here. All right, so let's start. Oh, Natalie, I want to talk about Natalie a minute. The reason I'm upset with myself for not knowing that Natalie had designed this stamp set, Courage and Faith, I should have just known, because this is totally Natalie, right? When I first became a demonstrator, I didn't even try to earn the incentive trips. I just kind of thought that was a far-fetched dream that could never really happen for an ordinary folk like me. And so I never even tried. And then one year, I don't know what happened to me, but I thought, why not? Why not try? So I tried, and I earned it. And then I earned the next one, and then I earned the next one. Well, the very first one I earned, believe it or not, I can be shy. I know I talk a lot, but I can be shy when I don't know who I'm around. And I was on an incentive trip, and Stampin' Up! Was hosting us in a hotel the day before our ship left dock. So we were in this fancy hotel, we're walking around, Ken and I, and I didn't know a lot of the demonstrators. Now remember, this was like 20 years ago at least. And this lady walked up to me, and she probably noticed that I was alone with my husband, kind of shy, kind of just, hanging out. And she said, "Hi, I'm Natalie Travis. How are you?" And from that day on, I've loved Natalie. Just the smallest little gesture can make a difference, right? Every time I see her, she gives the best hugs. She's sweet. I don't see her often, usually just on the incentive trips, and I haven't been on one for a few years because I can't go anywhere, being a caregiver. But Natalie, if I see her at the conventions, if I see her on an incentive trip, run into her on a backstage, whatever event like that, she is just the friendliest, sweetest, nicest lady ever, and she lives by the word of the Lord. I know it because you can just feel it from her heart. So anyway, enough on Natalie, and let's get stamping. She's just a special, sweet person. All right, so look at this rose in these colors. Now I'm just going to go off the card and on the card, and no specific layout really. I'm just stamping the edges of the cardstock, and then you're going to, hi Sandra, and then you're going to fill in spaces where you think that you need to fill in. And you can just go around your card like this first and then fill in next. So you don't need a whole image either for filler. You just need little pieces. If you feel that there's a place that needs a little bit more stamping on it, you can just take part of your stamp and do that. Okay, and remember, less is more, so you don't want to go too crazy on that. And there is the base of the card. Yes, I mentioned masculine, and I think the masculine part of this card is simply the color. It can be for anybody, really, honestly, because I think it's very, very pretty. But if you want to send it for a get well to a man, it definitely will work. I'm going to clean off my stamp and then set it aside. Okay. So then I took a piece of, now this is a pop-up, so I've done some of the work in advance so we don't keep you too long. Pop-up just means, no prior notice. I just popped up because I wanted to show you something else. And in this case, I wanted to get you another idea before Mother's Day, because I won't see you or talk to you on Mother's Day. So this piece here was cut at 5 by 3.5. So it's just a rectangle to fit on the front of the card, the same color cardstock, and I used the doily folder by itself to get this beautiful pattern. And that's what I wanted to show you with the doily stuff. It's just so, so pretty. So I'm going to just glue this down flat, because when I do put my cross on, the cross is going to be on dimensionals. So that will be the dimension that I have on this card. All right. If you're new here, please let me know that. I'd like to say hey. I don't see all the comments as in real time when I'm looking down at my desk. Sometimes I miss them, but I always look at the replay, and I will respond to you there. I see some hearts, so you're liking this. Good. Hi, Pat. And hello, my YouTube people, when you were watching the replay. Now look at this cross. See, the cross was sitting at my desk, made already, and when I put these two pieces together, I could see that this cross probably works on pretty much anything. But look how masculine that looks. And don't you think that's a great sympathy or get well card or thinking of you card or praying for you card, that type of thing? Oh, yes, you guys are agreeing. Awesome. So let me get this down. I'm just lining it up with my line underneath my website name to get it straight. And then placing the cross right on the, I'm calling it eyelet, but doily. rectangle piece of cardstock. So while this is really flat, with the exception of the dimensionals underneath the cross, it still has a lot of texture because of the beautiful roses and then the eyelet or doily pattern. Yes, Marcia, watch that video on how to make the cross. The stamp set I was highlighting then was Rejoice in Him. Trying to see if I could find it real quick, if it's in its right spot. RS. I have them in alphabetical order. And of course I don't see it right off the top of my head, but that stamp set, I think that's the one I was highlighting around Easter time. Okay, so now I use the die on the artistic dies to, it retired. That stamp set retired, but you could still make the crosses. But that's thanks Debbie, that was the live that I was on. I was highlighting that stamp set. So this is the die from the artistic dies. And look at this beautiful, beautiful leaf. It's just a gorgeous sprig or leaf. And look what happens when you add this to the cross. I mean, simply, you don't need anything else. You really don't. So I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to pay attention to where I need to put glue. So the end of the stem up to the little area where it goes into 3 pieces, and then this little leaf area here. I know, the artistically dies are amazing. They just are. And then I said this leaf here. And then we'll look and see. Thank you, Marcia. We'll look and see where else we think we need to put glue. We don't want to get it in too many spots. I see a little tiny piece that did not come out of the die. And you are too. I am too. I'll have to read back and see what Debbie's saying there. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so it's going to hold there, and it's going to hold here. And let's maybe put a little bit right there. Light-handed on the glue. Don't want it to seep through the little holes in that. Oh, amazing. Thank you. Look at this card, you guys. How simple. Simple. I mean, easy. And elegant. The gold in the cross always elevates the cross. The gilded leafing, there's the code for that. I just think it's a card for anyone. Now, the inside, I'm going to take white and the same Pebble Path. Isn't that a pretty color, especially for a man? And this is where I'm going to hop over to Courage and Faith by Natalie Travis. She is our $1 Million designer. She's a demonstrator that designed this set. And I'm just going to tap. And it's the first time I've used this set, but I will be using it on lives later down the road. Just stamp that there. So may the Lord bless and keep you. So you can send this to anybody when they're having not even a bad time. Just, may the Lord bless you always. So it's just a card you could send for any reason, anytime. Now, what I wanted to do also in this set, look at the sprigs here, and that kind of reminded me of this thing here, the curve. So, brand new stamp set, and I think I want this one. But there are some people that have a hard time putting their stamps together, so I wanted to show you how I do that. This is this one here. So I pull off the backing. There's a little slit. You got to find that little slit, and you pull off the backing like that at the slit. And then you really have a paper puzzle, right? So you take your stamp and see how it fits right in that puzzle. Now, I don't like to plop the whole thing down because you could get crooked, so I start on an end and I place it, and then I just watch with here that it's fitting into the puzzle, and then I pull it up and it's perfect. Okay, so that's how I will mount the rest of my stamps as soon as this live is over. I just found out that my granddaughter is coming to see me tomorrow. I knew my daughter was, but I didn't know she was bringing her daughter. I thought my granddaughter might have to work, but she's coming. And we were thinking about going out to lunch, but I'm telling you, my grandkids, all they want is homemade pizza. So there we go again. We're going to make homemade pizza in our pizza oven. Let's see. And I've never used this stamp before, so let's see. Let me make sure I inked it up well. Let's see what it looks like on either side of this. Oh, lovely. Now, if I stamp it here, it's going to be facing the same direction, right? So I don't think I want to do that. I think I'd rather turn it over. And hi, Maxine. And have it encase my sentiment. Yeah. Oh, look at that, you guys. I love it. Okay, so glad I got this set. Well, I knew I would anyway. Look at there. Very pretty. So if this is not a simple card, I don't know what is. Okay, really, let's think about it. Monochromatic, first of all. The only other color in this card is the wood grain from the DSP on the cross, right? That's it. We have a white liner, just so you can write, hi Marie, in here. But I think Pebble Path is just a beautiful color. And I like this kind of feels to me that when I stamped it, it was darker. And as the ink soaked into the paper, it has become lighter. So even though I keep saying this is a masculine card, we still have roses, so you can still send it to a female. I just think it's a good one for anybody, anytime. Are there any questions? Okay, if you want to order from me this month, there is the host code. Thank you. And I'm not done. Thanks, Marie. I'm not done using the doilies yet, but I am going to give them a break because I have other stamp sets to use and go through and share with you. But I'm just going to tell you right now that stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm going to have a special class online so everybody can come using the doily hybrid folder and dies. In order to come to this class, of course, you have to order that product from me. I will put a list out when it gets closer. I'm just designing the class now, and I am totally over heels in love. Totally over heels in love. So if you already have the doily hybrid folder and the things I mentioned to come to this class, no worries. You just have to order something equivalent and then have those dies with you and the folder during class so you can make the project along with me. Okay, so that will probably be in July. So this is a big, you've got a lot of time. But I'm doing that on purpose because I know that sometimes the shipping times could be long. And I'm going to show you the sample probably the beginning of June. And then you can order your supplies the beginning of July. And then we'll have the class towards the end of July online. Okay, I'm excited about it. So let me work on it. But just know that if you want to come to that class, I will give you a list, but the doily hybrid folder and dies will be part of that class. Okay? All right, ladies, I want you to have a very, very nice Mother's Day. Enjoy whomever it is that you're with, daughter-in-laws, mothers, sisters, whoever you're with, enjoy. Be blessed, and we will see you on Tuesday at 2 Pacific time. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.